we really got to know each other.
We had no vision. We were just like, okay, let's just sit down and talk shit because people told us we were entertaining.
Right. I'm not on my eat, pray, love journey.
Not
right
yet.
Now. No, ma'am.
It's over for that.
Where the man at?
Right. What's going on, y'all? BET Talks. I'm your host, Mia Bell, and it is my pleasure to introduce my girls, okay? Real girls. Podcast host of Poor Minds and the newest TV personalities of BET Hers latest travel queens.
Okay.
Drea Nicole and Lex P. Hello.
Hey, thank you.
That was a good intro. That's all I was going to say.
That was a good intro.
Absolutely. Because we on TV now. Travel queen.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you ladies.
Thank you.
You know I'm your biggest Poor Minds fan.
You were there at the beginning.
Girl, you were when we did your radio show.
So we're going to do it all over again.
Yes.
But in the best of ways.
Right.
Okay? First, we're going to play a game though.
I love a game.
So this one's called This or That. And you tell me why.
Okay.
All right? First class or window seat?
First class. And window.
Okay. Talk to him, Drea.
I need a little bit of both. You know, I feel like you can't have one without the other.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just something about flying first class. I feel like once you do it, that's all you want to fly. You don't want to go back.
Do you remember your first time?
I do.
Where you was going?
I think, girl, I was probably like 23 and I was going to Miami
Okay.
to go on a little blind date. And I was like, oh, he put me in first class. He liked me. This cool. We gonna be together. This is my man. And then we broke up right after.
That's okay.
I feel regal when I go to the airport, okay? I got my clear, my digital ID, my pre-check.
TSA pre-check.
I am zooming through,
Yeah.
and I'm boarding first. Don't play with me. But see, I don't really care about the window or the aisle, because if you're in first class, it ain't nobody in the middle anyway.
Right.
True.
So I'm not too picky. I can do the window or the aisle seat, but please put me in first class.
Do you remember your first class travel?
It was so long ago.
Oh, yeah?
Probably a teeny tot, if we're being honest. Well, I traveled a lot growing up. So my mom, she didn't play that.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I've definitely been like a first class girly since the beginning of time.
Yeah. I love that. Now, beach resort or mountain cabin?
Ooh,
Beach resort.
hands down.
Yeah, we not doing the mountain.
You know, I'm a spring baby, so I love warm weather.
Okay.
I don't want to be in no mountains cold as hell.
Yes.
Fighting for your life.
Same. I'm a summer baby, and I like my outfits as skinny as it's braids. Nothing on.
Solo trip or vacation?
Child, please.
Vacation. Every time vacation, because I feel like, you know, on a solo trip, I have to pay for everything. On a
Right.
vacation, he gonna pay.
Yeah. Same. I'm not on my eat, pray, love journey
Not
right
yet.
now. No, ma'am.
It's over for that.
Where the man at?
Right.
Yeah, I'm with her. I'm with
Yeah.
her.
You ladies have been working with each other for such a long time, too, and pre-podcast.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell us the history so that our audience can know why it's so important that you guys are doing this together, especially on a platform like BET.
Yeah. Me and Drea, this year, what, makes 10 years that we've been friends?
Yeah, we met in 2015.
We met in the club, drinking, having a good time, and you know, she moved to Atlanta. She was like, girl, you need to come to Atlanta. We gonna have a good time, turn up. I didn't know what I wanted to do career-wise. I don't think she really did either, but we knew we both have the same degree, the same college degree. We both have a broadcast journalism degree. So we were like, okay, we're gonna start a YouTube channel and we just gonna figure it out. Well, I had $3 in my pocket at the time, okay? So I had to move in with her. And I was like, oh, girl, I'll only be there for like 2-3 weeks. Girl, I ended up being there 6 months. I was there 6 months, child. So we really got to know each other.
She was a
okay?
great house guest, though.
Yeah.
Did you get tired of her at all?
To be honest, no, because she was always at work, and then I was always going a lot too, because at the time I was still working in the club.
Right.
And we just really never used to be there at the
Yeah.
same time a lot of the time. And she had a boyfriend, so she used to be at her boyfriend's house all the time. So she really wasn't even there like that.
One thing about me, I'm
And
gonna
she-
always have a man.
And she was pretty tidy, you know, like.
Oh yeah, I'm clean. I'm very clean.
She not the type to like talk your head off. Lex is very talkative. I know it seems like on the show.
Hey.
Cause you are. But in real life, she really just likes to watch TV and be in her phone and she
Right.
be minding her business.
I really am. Like, I think people think that I'm just like this extroverted person. I'm really, really introverted.
Yeah.
And when we're like in spaces, Drea is actually more talkative than I am.
Yeah.
When we're like outside and networking and stuff,
Yeah.
it's always Drea that's like, oh, I got this person's number, this girl's number, this guy's number. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who is that now? I'm just always in the back drinking my espresso martini shit.
I know
Yes.
that's right. So you guys were living together,
Yes.
roommates, and then you started this podcast,
Yeah.
Poor Minds. That's POUR.
You are.
Let them know.
And ain't no double O over
They
here.
do be saying POOR, and I be like, who?
Right.
Never gave that.
Ain't nothing poor over here.
Don't play with it.
Okay.
You guys are pouring into your audience.
Yes.
Literally, whether it be drinks, knowledge, jokes, fun, realness, you guys are giving all of that. You're giving all of you.
Yeah.
Now, talk to us about your podcast journey and how you were able to get it off the floor. There's so many podcasts now.
Yes.
I got one too, girl, so I
Girl.
need the advice.
Yeah.
And off the floor, literally.
Yeah.
Because we started recording on the floor in
Literally
my
sitting on the
apartment.
floor.
Yes, in my apartment. So, like she said, we had the YouTube channel, and then one of her friends who actually had a podcast at the time was like, oh, y'all should turn it into a podcast so y'all can monetize it. So then we did a whole rebrand because when we were doing the YouTube channel, the show was called Wind Down Wednesday.
Okay.
And so we changed it to Poor Minds. And I don't even remember how we came up with that name. I think she had Poor on her list, I had Minds, and we just put it together. So we were recording at DJ Scream Studio because we were also doing the radio with him for a while in Atlanta. He was helping us out with the podcast, and then we were cool with Carlos as well. We all followed each other on Twitter. Carlos wanted us to come on 85 South.
Okay.
He had already came on Poor Minds when we were still recording in my apartment on the floor. He came and sat on the floor
He
with
did.
us
He did.
Wow.
in my apartment and recorded with us. And then a few years later, he was like, oh, come on 85 South. We went on 85 South, and then that's when we kind of started having a discussion about them managing us.
Okay.
And so they started managing us in 2021. We started recording at the same studio that they recorded at, and yeah, it just kind of went up since then. I feel like us doing that 85 South episode was really pivotal for us because we gained so many followers and so much traction from doing that episode. I think the episode got like 1 million views in like 3 days or 4 days. So
Okay.
yeah, I really feel like that's what kind of started catapulting us to this level that we're at now.
Okay.
And I think also too, like, podcasting has been around for a very, very long time, first of all. But when we started podding, it wasn't a lot of people in there. And it wasn't a lot of people talking how we was talking.
Right.
We were popping off at the mouth about
Unfiltered.
we were extremely unfiltered. Like, to give a good comparison, people used to call us like the city girls of podcasts.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
for real, because we would just pop off and say whatever we felt. It wasn't a lot of like the gender wars things going on. I feel like now with podcasting, people see what goes viral and they're like, they try to take that formula and be like, oh, I can do that too.
Right.
We weren't looking at nobody. We didn't even really know what a podcast was.
Right.
So we were just like, okay, let's just press record and make something happen.
Yeah.
So I think now starting a podcast is not a lot of original ideas and people
Right.
being original. So I think if you're trying to start a podcast in 2025, the best thing you can do is really be yourself. It sounds so
Right.
cliche, but everybody is trying to do what somebody else is doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need more black women with platforms talking about a plethora of things. There's so many things to talk about.
Right.
So,
I agree.
Absolutely.
yeah.
When did you start seeing money come in from the work that you were doing?
To be honest, it was around that time because we did the rebrand and changed the name of the show to Poor Minds in 2018. I feel like we didn't see our first check till 2020, and it was this ad company that we were working with. We were putting the ads in the wrong section of the episode, so we weren't even doing the ad placements correctly.
Yeah.
But we finally got an $80 check, and we were so happy. We were
$80.
like,
Man,
$80.
what?
We was like, okay, we own to something. We getting somewhere.
What we eat that night?
I was like, wait, I got 2 packs of noodles
We ain't
tonight,
that
girl. Period. I put sausages in it too, child. I was cutting
You
up.
was
Come on,
balling.
Olive.
I couldn't wait.
All of it.
Yes.
So we got that first check and we were excited, and then the ad company dropped us because they was like, y'all not putting the ads in the right place.
Doing it all
Yeah,
wrong.
y'all
Oh
doing
my
it all wrong.
God.
So when we signed to 85, I think like 2021, we ended up started working with this ad company called Paragon.
Okay.
And that's who we still work with currently. And that's when we really started seeing like a major increase in the money that we were making. from inserting ads into the episode.
Baby, we signed with 85 South. I quit my job, 4 months later?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah. It was that quick, because, we had already started getting a lot of views. Now I was just trying to figure out how to connect the dots and get to the money. So.
And then the YouTube monetization, of course, like once the views got up, them YouTube checks be good.
Right.
I don't know what people be saying. They're like, oh, nobody watches YouTube anymore. Yes, they do. They use it like cable. They essentially do, because them YouTube checks be thicker than me, check.
But it took us a while to figure out, though, how to really maximize the amount of money that we were getting from YouTube. Because for a really long time, obviously, y'all know, on the show, we're very unfiltered.
Right.
So because of the language, our videos were getting flagged for a really long time. So we were supposed to be making double what we were actually making.
Right.
So now with YouTube, we actually like bleep the words out for the first 5 minutes, and our audience be so pissed. But it's like, rent due.
Rent doobie
I gotta pay my bills. So once we figured that out, like our checks tripled on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we met, you guys were on tour. I
Yes,
believe.
we were. Yeah. That was our first. Was that our first or second tour?
That was 2022, so that was
our
first
tour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was our first
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
What's the most, heartwarming message that you done got from your audience?
Probably one of the most heartwarming moments that we had was when we did the Detroit show.
Oh, yeah.
We had a show in Detroit, and it was this guy that came to the show, and he was telling us, I think he had prostate cancer, and he was saying how our show really helped him get through that rough time in his life. He was in remission, but he was like, it really helped him get through that because he used to watch us when he was sad and when he was going through it and getting his treatments, and it would make him laugh and make him smile. And he gave us some gifts. He gave us some little wristbands, and I still have my wristbands to this day. But it was really sweet, So I think whenever people tell us stories about how we really impacted and changed their lives, it's really heartwarming because we just really started doing anything. Like when we decided to do Poor Minds, when we decided to do Wind Down Wednesday, we had no goal for real. We had no vision. We were just like, okay, let's just sit down and talk shit because people told us we were entertaining.
Right. I think seeing people in person, you really get to see how much you have impacted people, especially Black women.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of times in the world in general, we are treated unfairly, especially in this media space. So we always try to make sure that everybody feels seen and that you have a safe space to be a unapologetic Black woman. You know, whether you're an emo girl, a country girl, a city girl, whatever type of woman you are, we accept all of that.
Right.
So I think we have just created a space just to freely be yourself and command a room and not make somebody feel like you're doing too much. You know what I mean? So I think that seeing people in person, like seeing people cry when they meet us, it's like, okay, I ain't know them knock jokes was doing all that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now we have these unapologetic Black women hosting Travel Queen.
Yes.
Her.
Yes.
Where are we going?
So we went to Cartagena.
Colombia.
Yes.
We went to Key West, Florida. We went to Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
And then we also went to Mexico City, Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico City,
Yeah.
It was an experience. Because, girl, last time I went to Colombia, I was just getting a BBL, so I didn't get to travel around and, do the thing.
Yeah,
now.
you was taking
You know what I'm saying? I was wrapped up.
Uh-huh.
So to go back to Colombia, and I'm like, I'm getting paid to be here, and I'm eating, I'm having a good time. I said, look at God. Ain't he good? Ain't he good? So
I'm so sorry. Girl, what?
I'm just saying.
She's keeping it real.
I mean, she right though, because the last time I went to Colombia before too, and I went to get my teeth done, so I didn't really get to really experience it and really submerge myself in the culture. But this time, it was definitely a different
experience. So, and I think that's another thing about traveling. I feel like the show is about showing young women and men of color where you can go as a Black person to travel, what to do. And I think it kind of gives y'all remember the show The Simple Life?
Yeah.
It kind of gives that, but an updated version. And it's just really two girls being friends, having a good time. I feel like now we're in a space where everybody turns on the TV and we see the girls throwing drinks at each other, slapping each other, pulling their hair out. We're not doing that.
We having fun.
Yeah, we having fun. And it shows another side of us. Like I said, I don't necessarily like how a lot of the black women are being represented in the media. Like, we're one-dimensional, and it's not that. So I think travel queens is really something that we need right now, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And what did you guys learn about each other while traveling to all of these different places? Drea, what would you say, Lex P, what kind of travel queen is she? Is she doing all the excursions? Is she trying to, sit cute, sit pretty, and have dinner? Like, what's happening?
No, that's me. I'm the one who want to go to have dinner. I want to go to the spas, have cocktails. She's a little more adventurous. I think that I am adventurous too, but Lex is definitely like, let's go jump off a cliff. And I'm like, hold on, sis. Wait a minute. Why you want to go do that? Of all things. We did a Lucha Libre match.
Oh my
Who
God.
thinks of that? When we went to Mexico City.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you want to wrestle?
Yeah, 'cause girl, what is that?
We was in the ring rolling around.
They had us tumbling and all types of stuff. And like, although I didn't want to do it at first, I was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you came up with that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was something different. Like, I don't know, but I think that's the same thing with her. Like, I feel like I necessarily didn't learn anything because I've known her for 10 years. Like, I already know everything.
Right, and you guys traveled before.
Yeah. Right. But one thing I can always expect when I go on trips with her, like, we gonna eat good, we gonna drink good, we gonna get some cute IG pictures. Like, it's gonna be a vibe.
We
like,
need that girl in our life, though.
Yes, for
and
sure.
I'm going to get them angles.
Yeah, period.
Now, in the space that you're in now, the show is about to come out. You guys haven't seen anything yet, have you?
No.
Now, a lot of people, like you mentioned earlier, too, they only see the glamorous side of all of these things, but they don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Right.
They don't know about, the depressive personal moments that you go through. And I know, especially for you, Lex, your mother, she's no longer here with us, but this is such a huge accomplishment. And I know that you feel her all wrapped around and all through you. What does this moment mean for you now that, you get to show her everything you've been working on?
When she was here, she was my angel, and she still is. When she passed away, that was right before our first tour.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And I had no clue when you guys came to the show.
Yeah. It had literally... It was real fresh. It was real fresh. So I think for me, it's like everything has gone up. And it's just, like I said, a testament to her still being such a guidance in my life. And, I have my moments where I'm like, man, I wish she was here physically, but it's like I dream about her so much, and it's just so much like I see myself in her. Like, it's stuff that I say or I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am exactly like my mom. So even though she's not here physically with me, I think the proof is in the pudding that she is still here and guiding me, because the fact that, like she said, we started on her living room floor and we're on BET now. Like, I grew up watching BET.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Grew up watching BET with my mom. We did Essence Festival. First time I ever did Essence Festival, I was with my mom. Now we're in Essence Magazine.
Right.
So it's just so many like full circle moments, and I know it's really because of her and God. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, give them all the praise.
Yes.
I agree. Because I lost my dad, too, back in 2020. And I feel the same way. Like, I feel like a lot of things that are happening in my life is obviously because of God, but also I feel like he's definitely my guardian angel and up there making moves on my behalf.
Yeah.
But it's almost bittersweet because you really want to enjoy the moments like this, and I'm sure this is something that a lot of people can resonate with that have lost a parent, and it's a grieving process and you never really stop grieving.
Right.
So you want to enjoy the moments, but it's bittersweet because you miss the person. So it's kind of hard. Like, sometimes I kind of feel guilty a little bit.
Survivor's remorse.
Yeah.
Not even only when someone passes on, but when you're able to elevate your life in ways that you've never seen possible.
Right.
And you wish they were here to see it, but you just always have to keep in mind that they're up there still watching over you.
They up there doing paper, rock, scissors on who doing the blessing today, child.
Absolutely. The ancestors don't play.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think our lives are truly a testament to that.
Yeah. Now, what message do you want to give to the audience who is going to learn you for the first time and, really have all eyes and perspectives on y'all? Because it only gets bigger from here.
I have to tell people, please don't take me seriously. because I play a lot,
Yeah.
and I have a very dark sense of humor.
Right.
So I kept it real light for y'all today because I'm being G-rated.
Right.
But I just have to say that. So when you watch the show, please don't take nothing I say or do seriously. Because I will say something to have a straight face.
Right.
And people be like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? So I just have to say that. Like, don't take me seriously. And I just think people should go in with an open mind and ready to have a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
For me, I think that I'm excited that people get to see a different side of me because even prior to doing Poor Minds, I never was a person who would really show a lot of my personality on social media. And I'm also still, even with us having a podcast, like a very private person. So I'm excited that they get to see another side of me and kind of like more insight to our world and how we are outside of the show. Because even though Poor Minds isn't a scripted show, we're still sitting on a couch talking about topics.
Right.
Whereas Travel Queens is really just, it's reality TV. Like the cameras are following us around. This is really what's going on. This is really my real reaction to stuff. And I'm excited for them to get to see more of our friendship too.
Yeah.
And the decentering of men.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
That's too, child.
Yes.
Because that's
Black
all
girls-
everybody's talking about. these
Right.
days.
Especially on the
Men.
podcast.
Yeah.
I love to talk about it.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know, to really center you guys as women, black women who are great friends, sisters, traveling with each other, no drama, just a good time.
Yes.
We're really excited to have you, and we cannot wait to see the show.
Yes.
Travel
Thank
Queens,
you.
BET Her, and of course, we'll never forget about Poor Minds.
Yes.
That's what we started.
Every Friday.
And them episodes are recorded.
Yes.
They
y'all
recorded
to get 'em.
every
we
Friday.
have what?
We
We're
don't
on
play.
6 years.
We're on 6 years. I think we're on episode like 370
6
something.
years. We've never missed a Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never missed a Friday.
Consistency
We don't
at
play.
its best.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's what takes you to newer heights.
Amen.
Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
BET Talk.